Today, Dallas Police Chief Renee Hall announced her intent to resign. I'm Steve Vieger.
And I'm Heather Hayes. Now, in her announcement, she said she planned to leave by mid-November, but the city manager said in a statement that she will remain in her position for the rest of the year. Hall came to Dallas from Detroit 3 years ago this month, becoming the first black woman to lead the Dallas Police Department. She led during a turbulent time for the department, recently lost confidence from 6 members of City Council. Fox 4's Sean Rabb joining us now with more on this developing story. Sean.
Good evening to you, Heather. September 5th was Renee Hall's 3rd anniversary as the Dallas Police Chief. She kept this news of her resigning close to her vest. No one on her command staff knew until she made the announcement by Zoom this afternoon. Chief Hall came here tabbed to be the leader to guide this police department into 21st century policing. Her mission was reform, but there were untold challenges in front of her. Now, there were achievements, there were changes during her leadership, but there was also some difficulties as well. Just weeks ago, 6 of the members of the Dallas City Council said they no longer had trust or confidence in the leadership. That came following the department's 80-page summary of its own handling of unrest and protest in Dallas following the murder of George Floyd by police in Minnesota. Namely, what happened on the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge. Some 600 protesters on that bridge. They say they were hit with tear gas and less lethal munitions, rubber bullets. None were arrested. All were given citations, but a couple of days later, the city manager then dismissed all of those tickets. Now, Hall is out. Apparently, other opportunities presented to her in law enforcement. In her letter of resignation to City Manager Broadnax today, she writes in part, "We have accomplished so much by standing together in support of community policing and changes in the way our officers perform their duties in 2020. She added, "It has not been easy. These past 3 years have been saturated with a series of unimaginable events that individually and collectively have never happened in the city of Dallas." Assistant Chief Avery Moore tells me he was shocked and that he learned a lot from Chief Hall.
I believe that we probably won't really recognize how important she was to our organization until down the line, like so many. Chief Brown being that way, wasn't really appreciated when he was here, but when he left, it was, wow, he was the greatest chief ever. So I just think we'll miss her.
One of her greatest challenges from the time she came here, the department, some 600 officers down from full staffing, never reached full staffing. That was one of her biggest challenges, as well as how she was able to address the crime spike last year. You'll recall the homicide rate in Dallas set a record. Today, the city manager did ask, as you mentioned at the top of this, Steve and Heather, that she stay on through the 4th quarter until they have time to craft the search criteria for the next man or woman to lead this department. And the mayor put out a statement just a few minutes ago saying he had not talked to Renee Hall, but was not surprised by this decision, given what his colleagues on the council had said about her in recent weeks. He went on to say that she had the distinction of being the first woman of color to lead this department, adding, quote, "That is not lost on me," and he wishes her well in her next adventure.